Greetings, students in 530. I wanted to take a few minutes and chat with you about how your assignments and activities fit together for this course. It may not be obvious when you first enter the landscape, although the assignment schedule, I think, gives you a really good picture, or at least an outline. So anyway, let me go through a few things and show you how the pieces of this jigsaw could fit together. First, there are some things that are activities and they're not actually labeled assignments. These include your Flipgrid discussions, your Google Slide teachbacks, and Database of the Week. Database of the Week is just a sharing with our learning community. So you're going to choose a database and create an in-facing product. It can be a rough screencast or a poster. We want you to tell us why you chose the database you chose, and each student will do this activity once during the semester. I didn't want to have you go out and look at 300 different databases, although that would be fun for me as a database geek. Not everybody feels the same way I do about it. In any case, you're going to save each other some time and legwork and possibly entertain each other by sharing your feelings about one database over the course of the semester. This is student to student or librarian to librarian. This activity is not one of the official assignments and does not require post-production. It's just an informal share. So Database of the Week, informal share. I hope that you will put comments on each other's optional discussion each week. But it's really the purpose of this is to build awareness of the scope of databases out there. And remember, when I'm talking about databases in this particular context for this course, I am talking about paid subscription library databases, not free web portals, which can be searched, and we'll talk about later in the second part of the course. Next, I want to talk about Assignment 1, which some people get mixed up with Database of the Week. Assignment 1 is an out-facing product. It's a tutorial about a database. It can take multiple formats. The thing is that it is for a selected audience other than our class. So if you think of a persona for your guide, which is your project guide, we'll be talking about in a minute, see if you can imagine what their needs are. It could be a second grade student. It could be a school faculty. It could be a graduate student. It could be a group of doctors. It could be a group of English teachers. The important thing is to have a clear idea of who you're speaking to and make sure that everything in your tutorial addresses their needs, is written or spoken in a language that makes sense to them. Because Assignment 1 is out-facing, post-production efforts would be appropriate. So make it look polished or pretty. If you're doing something with a screencast or using screenshots, use arrows and circles, use your voice, put some titling in. I can help you figure out what platforms might be the best to use. This is a significant amount of your grade. It's 15%, so you really want a finished product for your tutorial. Note, as I mentioned, your assignments fit together, or they might fit together. So it's possible that your database of the week and Assignment 1 might be on databases that are topically relevant to your Assignment 2 LibGuide, and it's possible they might find themselves embedded in that LibGuide. So if you want to stay with that same group of interests all along, then you can start feeding your LibGuide early. Let's think about Assignment 2 as a culminating project that you might work towards building, as I just mentioned. It's not mandatory that everything you do end up in Assignment 2, but you might decide you might want to build strategically, or you might decide you want to stretch a little and explore different avenues of your interests or passion, or build a portfolio in a few different directions, and that is perfectly fine. I'm just talking about how you might be strategic, or you might choose not to be strategic, or you might choose to stretch. So if you do choose to be strategic, you could create a tutorial for Assignment 1 that can be embedded in the LibGuide and use your database for Assignment 1 to be embedded in the LibGuide. You will find tutorials on LibGuides, and I'm going to be happy to meet with you along the way. And we are going to ask you to identify a LibGuide buddy who might share your interests or your grade level or your library land professional direction to support you and give you feedback along the way. So look for that support coming a little later in the semester. Okay. You will have a group of activities, 6 activities, and some of those activities might find their way into your knowledge building for assignment 2 or LibGuides. So for instance, activity 3, in which you're comparing 3 similar databases, could lead to the discovery of the types of databases you'll recommend to that group of users. And so even though it's not an official product, your learning will be enhanced by the activities which might move you in that direction as well. Not every single activity lends itself to this kind of building, but some of them do. For instance, number 6 is about creating a Google programmable, formerly called customizable custom search. And many students in the class have created and embedded these focused Google searches into their guides. For instance, if you create a Google programmable search on the presidents of the United States, you might have a guide to American history during a particular period, and you might have that customizable search on the presidents focus on the presidents of the period and their primary sources, and that would be an appropriate embeddable programmable search, and you can make as many of them as you want. They're free and they're fun to make. So that's we'll talk more about it, activity 6 as time passes. Why are we using LibGuides for this final product? Well, LibGuides are kind of an industry standard in libraries and major information institutions. They are the way people do business and share and curate in libraries. If you do a guide, you'll have something to present in a portfolio, and you'll be able to say in your resume or your CV that you've had experiences creating LibGuides. You can search the LibGuides community, community.libguides.com, to see a spectrum of the types of styles and topics professionals have chosen to create or curate on that platform. As I mentioned, on our class guide, you'll find lots of tutorials, and you can also search for all things that SpringShare has put together on their own LibGuides of tutorials, and there's so much support out there. As soon as you decide what you want to do, or even before that, let me know. In a few weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, I'll be setting everybody up with LibGuide subscriptions. You can use that as a sandbox or as a storage space as you plan and as you build. Very often when I'm building LibGuides, I don't publish them right away. I will just store stuff in them that I can start organizing and reorganizing, moving pages and boxes around as I make new decisions. And so you've got activities, you've got database of the week, and you've got 2 assignments. The front-facing database tutorial for assignment 1 and the search LibGuide for assignment 2. And to disambiguate just a little bit, if you worked on LibGuides for other courses, this course is requiring you to create a search LibGuide. It's not necessarily about everything in the universe. It's about how you're going to guide a group of people, your users, towards search in a particular area of knowledge. So you might have done one for 515, which is really about instruction that might include search. This is focused on all of the different types of tools we'll be discovering: gray literature, databases, search portals, you name it. Everything we're covering in this course, including free web search and how to do that strategically, is fair game for a search guide. So I'm not going to overwhelm you in this, what was intentionally a short video, but I want to show you how the pieces might fit together if you want to put them together. Some of these pieces are not very heavy duty. It's just about learning how to do a thing. There is actually an activity that people have trouble with in this course, and I want to just like tell you about it up front. It's command line search. It's kind of similar to computer programming on a search and in creating search syntax on a search line. It's not meant to drive you crazy. It's just dipping a toe into the water of how some information professionals approach search. This is a survey course about the information landscape, so we'll be dipping our toes into a few things which, if you discover you find fascinating, you can later explore at greater depth. But if I left you with a search course without any experience in a sophisticated search technique like dialogue searching or command line searching, it would be a little bit of malpractice because you'd be not aware of something. We'll be looking at systematic search in the health search area as well. I just want you to be aware of all of these things because you don't know at this point exactly where you're going to land in library land. You'll be coming out of this program with an MI degree, which means you can work wherever an ALA accredited master's degree might land you, and I want you to be fully aware of what the possibilities are. So anyway, this is basic. This is a basic introduction to the activities and the assignments you'll be doing in 530 and how they might fit together. Much more information is listed in the class assignment guide and our HyperDoc and our syllabus. I am excited about learning with you this semester and look forward to seeing you in Canvas very soon.